Insufficient information? Habitual perpetrators left free to ply their trade and kill again? These are the reasons I need for you to comment, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Get me monetized so I can go to Chicago and find out about how and why these women died and why or why not perpetrators were identified and held responsible. This is Christina with the Sisyphean Journal, and today is January 23rd. Welcome to the Sisyphean Journal, where we look at women's abortion deaths and try to learn from them. I invite your comments below because I want intelligent conversation about these. Only by exchanging ideas can we come up with really good solutions. So today we are going to look at some early 20th century Chicago deaths. Again, I focus a lot on Chicago in the later 19th and early 20th century because of the Homicide in Chicago Interactive Database, where I just put abortion in the search box and get the cases. So that's always my primary source of information with most of these Chicago abortion deaths. When I can, I find more information in other places. First, we are going to look at the January 23rd, 1929 death of a young woman named Edna. Edna was 22 years old when she sought out a criminal abortion for reasons that I need to go to Chicago to determine. A woman named Catherine Bajda, or Baida, B-A-J-D-A, I'm just going to call her Mrs. K because I can't pronounce that name, was identified as a homemaker, so that would make her a lay abortionist, in the Homicide Chicago Interactive Database. She was held by the coroner on February 14th, and on March 15th, she was indicted for felony murder in Edna's death. 3 days after her indictment, she was caught with a 25-year-old abortion patient dead in her home. I've been absolutely unable to determine where either case went after this point. So again, like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Get me monetized so I can go to Chicago and find out. Now we move back in time to January 23rd of 1925. A 34-year-old woman named Kate died at Chicago's Lakeside Hospital from abortion complications. The Homicide in Chicago database said that she died at the scene of the crime, but that's highly unlikely. They are not the most reliable source of information. Now, supposedly there was an arrest related to Kate's death on February 11th, but the database doesn't give a name, and there's nothing further there. Again, get me monetized and go to Chicago and look into this further. Now, we go to 1914. In this case, as was pretty common in early 20th century Chicago abortions, we're looking at a midwife. Midwives often ran their own maternity hospitals, so they were probably a lot more active in the care of pregnant women than midwives tend to be now. On January 23rd of 1914, a 17-year-old girl named Helen died at Cook County Hospital from sepsis. The investigators concluded that the abortion had taken place on January 17th, and they identified midwife Margaret Weideman, who was about 46 at the time. She was held by the coroner for murder by abortion, but she was acquitted. Now, she had been arrested in May of the previous year for the abortion death of a young woman named Sophia, in which case she admitted to having performed the fatal abortion. That might be why she denied performing the abortion on Helen. So she was still at large after being arrested for Sophia's death, was implicated in Helen's death, and nearly 2 years after Helen's death, she was finally convicted in Sophia's death and sentenced to prison. Again, send me to Chicago so I can learn what the heck was going on here. And our final death for today has another midwife involved. And this is the January 23rd, 1913 death of a 32-year-old homemaker named Margaret. She died at Postgraduate Hospital in Chicago from sepsis. The authorities concluded that the abortion had been perpetrated on January 9th. The suspected abortionist was midwife Caroline Orbach, who was about 45 years old at the time. She was held by the coroner on January 24th. A woman named Mamie Williams testified that she had accompanied Margaret to Orbach's practice on several occasions, and she said that Margaret told her that the midwife had performed the fatal abortion. But this was hearsay evidence. I get the feeling that they really didn't have a deathbed statement or any solid evidence because Orbach was acquitted on November 25th. So, a whole bunch of Chicago deaths with a whole lot of mystery attached. Like, share, subscribe, comment, get me monetized so I can go to Chicago and we can learn how to prevent similar deaths from happening if abortion is criminalized in the future.